Before you keep scrolling, stop here for a second. This is not showing up by accident. It is reaching the person who has stayed strong for too long, stayed quiet for too long, and carried a kind of tiredness that most people never really notice. There is someone who does not look at you like a puzzle to solve, a prize to win, or a passing feeling to enjoy for a moment and then forget. They look at you and feel something deeper. They sense the weight you carry. They feel the silence behind your smile. They want to stay close, help you breathe easier, and hold part of the pressure you have been holding alone, without needing a full explanation for every wound. And if you have ever asked yourself whether this kind of love is even real, stay with this. Do not skip the next part. What you are about to hear may touch a place inside you that has been waiting a very long time to feel understood. Not everyone will keep listening when truth gets too personal. Many people turn away when something begins to sound too real. But if you are still here, that already says a lot. Some part of your heart is paying attention. Some part of you is still hoping. By the time you reach the end of this message, you may start seeing your life, your pain and your future in a very different light. The kind of love we are talking about does not arrive with noise. It does not ask for attention. It enters quietly. But when it is real, it changes everything from the inside out. And it does it without needing to make a scene. This person wants to marry you, but not for shallow reasons. Not because of your appearance alone. Not because of status. Not because they feel empty and want someone to fill a space inside them. They want to marry you because something in them is moved by your heart. They notice how much you have handled on your own. They sense the private battles you rarely put into words. They see the brave face you show the world, the calm tone you use, the way you keep moving even when life feels heavier than anyone around you understands. And instead of stepping back from that truth, they feel pulled closer to you, not out of pity, out of respect, out of care, out of a quiet kind of love that grows stronger the more deeply they come to know the real you. They think about you with seriousness, with tenderness, with intention. This is not the kind of love that performs for an audience. It does not need to be loud to be real. It is patient. It watches closely. It stays steady day after day. Yes, they notice your smile, but they also notice the quieter moments. They feel the slight changes in your energy. They recognize when you say you are okay, while your eyes tell a different story. And every time they catch that small shift, one thought keeps returning inside them. I want to be the place where this person can finally rest. I want to be the one who helps carry what they have carried alone for far too long. If that line hits something in you, keep going, because this gets even more personal from here. When they imagine life with you, they are not stuck on a perfect ceremony, pretty pictures, or the opinions of other people. They think about real life, the early mornings when you wake up tired, before the day has even started, the quiet nights when old memories come back without warning, the stressful afternoons, the uncertain seasons, the days when your heart feels worn down and you cannot even explain why. They picture themselves there through all of it, not just when you are shining, not just when you are easy to understand, not just when life is light. They want to be there in the hidden moments too, the hard ones, the fragile ones, the ones most people do not stay long enough to witness. If you have ever wished someone would help ease your pain instead of adding to it, stay with this part. It matters. They imagine honoring you, protecting your peace, and helping you breathe a little easier one day at a time. They dream of a bond built on trust, patience, honesty, and the kind of understanding that sees far beyond the surface. They do not want to stand outside your life and admire it from a distance. They want to stand inside it with you, step by step, day by day, through bright seasons and dark ones, through hope and healing, through all the challenges life may place in front of both of you. And here is what makes this powerful. They are not trying to rescue you as if something is broken in you. They do not see you that way. They see your strength. They see your endurance. They see a person who kept a soft heart alive in a hard world. And that truth moves them more deeply than they can easily explain. If you have ever felt unseen, stay with me here. This part is important. They see more than your calm outside. They notice the hidden weight behind it. They see the version of you that lies awake at night thinking thoughts nobody else hears. They see the version of you that learned how to smile while carrying sadness, disappointment, and long stretches of emotional exhaustion. They notice how often you give more than you get back, how often you listen more than you speak, how often you create room for other people while quietly asking for almost nothing in return. And what rises in them when they see all of that is not fear, it is devotion. It is a real desire to stand beside you in a way that means something, to share the pressure, to make your load lighter in practical ways and emotional ways, to become a space where your heart does not have to stay guarded every second of every day, because what people need most is not applause, not praise, not temporary excitement that burns bright and disappears fast. What people truly need is to be seen fully, not the polished version they show in order to survive, but the real one, the tired one, the healing one, the hopeful one, the one still learning how to trust again. And this person feels drawn to all of it, not only the easy parts, not only the pretty parts, the whole truth of you. That is why this love feels different. It looks past appearance and chooses the soul. It does not want to own you, use you, or display you like proof of success. It wants to care for you, protect your softness, and ease the strain you carry without ever making you feel weak for having carried it in the first place. Their love is not rushed. It is not reckless. It moves with care. It understands that healing takes time, that trust grows slowly, that old pain does not disappear because of one sweet talk or one beautiful promise. So they are willing to be patient. They are willing to stay through the process. They are willing to show up again and again until their actions say what words alone can never fully prove. I am here. I am not leaving. You do not have to hold everything by yourself anymore. Listen closely to that, because it matters more than you think. They do not want to take away your independence. They are not threatened by your strength. In fact, your strength is part of what pulls them toward you. They admire how you made it through things that could have broken you. They admire how you kept your heart open when it would have been easier to close it. They admire the courage it takes to keep believing in connection after being disappointed. That is why their love is not about control. It is about partnership. They want to stand beside your strength, not over it. And if you have ever known a kind of love that made you feel smaller, then you already understand how huge this difference really is. This person notices things many others miss. Most people react to what they can see. They judge behavior. They respond to what is obvious. But this person listens for emotion. They feel energy. They hear what is hidden beneath your words. They catch the pause in your voice. They sense the sadness tucked inside a sentence that sounds normal to everyone else. They notice when your presence pulls back even a little, and instead of pushing for answers, they stay gentle, they stay near, they let their presence speak first. That is part of what makes this connection feel healing. It does not only respond to what you do, it responds to who you are. When love reacts only to actions, it becomes conditional. It grows when life is easy, and it weakens the moment life gets hard. But when love responds to what someone feels, it becomes steady, it becomes safe, it becomes deep. It says you matter here, not because you are performing well, not because you are perfect, but simply because you are you. If that reaches somewhere deep inside you, do not tune out now. This is the point where many people begin to understand why so many forms of love never felt safe before. This person likely knows pain too. They understand that people who have carried heavy feelings for years do not always need advice. Sometimes they need quiet. Sometimes they need space. Sometimes they need room to breathe. Sometimes they need someone who can sit beside them without trying to solve every moment. This person wants to be that steady presence in your life. They imagine a relationship where joy and sorrow can exist in the same room without either one destroying the bond. A relationship where laughter and healing live side by side, where hard days do not threaten the connection, they deepen it. If a part of you still hopes that someone wants to marry you for your heart and not for control, stay with that thought. They picture a future that feels peaceful instead of chaotic, not full of mixed signals, not full of emotional confusion, not full of endless guessing, peaceful, grounded, honest, real. They think about small, ordinary moments with you, and somehow those moments feel sacred to them. A cup of coffee waiting in the morning, a caring message in the middle of a busy day, a quiet talk after a long evening, a gentle hand on your shoulder when your thoughts get too loud. These things are not small to them. They are the shape of love. They imagine sharing duties instead of keeping score. They imagine solving problems together instead of turning against each other when pressure rises. They imagine building a life where both people feel supported, respected, and understood. They are not dreaming about perfection. They are dreaming about consistency, about showing up, about staying connected when life gets messy, about creating a home where both hearts can finally relax. Maybe that is why this vision feels so powerful. It is not built on fantasy. It is built on presence, on commitment, on choosing each other over and over, not only during beautiful moments, but during ordinary ones too. Because real love is not proven only by huge gestures. It shows itself in daily behavior, in patience, in loyalty, in understanding, in the willingness to remain present when circumstances stop being easy. This person wants to offer you that kind of love. Not because they think you need saving, not because they think you cannot stand on your own, but because they see someone worth standing beside, someone worth building with, someone worth protecting, someone worth loving in a deep and honest way. And the more they understand your story, the stronger that desire becomes. They see the scars you rarely mention. They see the disappointments that shaped the way you move now. They see the moments that taught you to be careful. But they also see something else, and this part is beautiful. They see hope. They see kindness. They see a heart that still wants connection after everything it has been through. That is the part they treasure most, not because it is flawless, because it is real. In a world full of masks, your honesty stands out. Your endurance stands out. Your decision to keep going stands out. And every time they notice those things, they feel more certain about what they want with you. They do not want a temporary rush. They do not want a short romance that fades the moment things become difficult. They want something lasting, something true, something built with care over time. A partnership where both people can grow, a bond where both people can heal, a future where both people feel safe enough to be fully themselves. And when they imagine that future, they imagine it with you, not because you are perfect, not because life would suddenly become easy, but because they believe some people are worth choosing completely, and in their heart you are one of those people. They picture the kind of silence that feels comforting instead of tense, the kind of home where your nervous system can finally settle because love no longer feels like it might vanish without warning. They want to work through problems with you, not fight against you. They want to build daily habits that make both of you feel secure. They want the ordinary life, not just the thrilling highlights. And that says so much because surface-level love chases peaks. Real love prepares for the everyday moments. It asks, how can I make this person's life lighter? How can I protect their peace? How can I become someone they never have to beg for consistency from? That is the future they see with you. Stable, loyal, peaceful, still full of feeling, but grounded in something stronger than excitement. And if you are still here, maybe part of you already knows that stability is not boring. Stability is beautiful. Stability is what lets a tired heart finally exhale. They can tell that much of your pain did not come from one event alone. It came from being misunderstood again and again, from giving deeply and getting little back, from staying loyal while others stayed uncertain. It came from hoping someone would choose you clearly, fully, and without conditions, only to be met with confusion, distance, or changing feelings. They see how exhausting that has been. They understand how it taught part of you to expect disappointment, to hold a little back, to keep one foot near the door just in case. They understand why you became careful, why you do not always say what you need, why trust can feel expensive, why being chosen can still feel hard to believe even when you want it more than anything. And instead of judging those guarded parts of you, they meet them with kindness. They are not asking you to become easier to love. They are asking for the chance to love you honestly, through actions that match their words, through reliability that removes confusion instead of creating more. They do not want you lying awake at night wondering where you stand. They do not want you shrinking yourself just to keep peace. They do not want your heart learning another lesson about being left behind. They want to love you in a way that slowly teaches your body something new. That closeness can feel calm. That consistency can be real. That love can stay. If this sounds almost too good to believe, keep listening. The next part may be the one your heart needs most, because this kind of love asks something from you too, not right away, not harshly, not on a deadline. But one day it will ask for something that may feel scarier than pain itself. It will ask you to let it in, not the polished version of you, not the capable version that handles everything alone, the real version, the healing version, the one that still gets scared, the one that still expects love to leave the moment it starts feeling safe. This love will be patient, but it will gently ask you to stop preparing for its ending before it has even fully arrived. That is what pain teaches us to do. Pain teaches us to prepare for loss before love has a chance to settle in. It teaches us to stay guarded, to love halfway, to keep some part of ourselves untouched so we will not shatter if someone walks away. But the person we are talking about is not getting ready to leave. They are getting ready to stay, and that changes everything. It changes what your body feels when someone comes close. It changes what a quiet Tuesday night means. It changes what silence sounds like when no one is using it to punish you. It changes how deeply you rest when the person beside you wants nothing from you except your honest truth. So if you have spent years surviving while staying on alert, hear this clearly. Safe love may feel unfamiliar at first. It may even feel strange. But strange does not always mean wrong. Sometimes strange only means new. And new can be the beginning of real healing. Deep healing rarely happens in complete isolation. It happens inside safe connection, inside a bond where you are seen without judgment, supported without control, and loved without being managed. That is what this person wants to offer. Not perfection, not a fantasy life with no difficult moments, but true presence, real care, a steady heart beside yours through every season. They want to know the full truth of who you are, your story, your fears, your quiet victories, your habits when you are tired, your silence when you feel overwhelmed, your softness when you finally feel safe enough to stop pretending, and none of it scares them off. They move closer. Their love is quiet, but it is not weak. It is strong in the way roots are strong. It does not need loud displays to prove itself. It grows slowly. It stays steady. It lasts. And if you are still with me, do not miss this part, because this is where the message becomes deeply personal. This love shows itself through small things that end up meaning everything. Checking on you without being asked, remembering what drains your energy, protecting your peace when you are too tired to speak up, helping without making it feel like a favor you must repay later, making life easier in ordinary ways. These things may sound small to some people, but they are never small to a heart that has carried too much for too long. That is why this kind of love can feel life-changing, not because it is dramatic, but because it is dependable. And dependable love is one of the rarest gifts a person can receive. They are drawn to your strength, but not because they want to test it. They are drawn to it because it tells the story of everything you survived. They know you have made sacrifices. They know you have swallowed pain and kept moving anyway. They know there were days when you held yourself together with nothing but quiet faith and pure determination. And they are committed to becoming the kind of person who eases your burden instead of adding to it. They want a home with them to feel like relief. They want rest to become normal in your life, not something you earn only after complete exhaustion. They want to notice your tiredness before you say a word. They want to share responsibilities without resentment. They want to love you in practical ways that protect your spirit. This is not performative love, it is lived love. It is the kind that shows up in daily moments and keeps showing up long after the first excitement fades. They understand that vulnerability is not weakness. They understand that letting someone close is one of the bravest things a person can do, and they want to be worthy of that trust every single day, not only when it is easy, not only when it is convenient, not only when everything feels light, but especially when life grows heavy and you need something real to hold on to. If these words are touching something deep in you, do not brush that feeling aside. Sometimes the heart recognizes truth before the mind can explain it. Stay with that feeling. Listen to what it may be trying to tell you. There may be a reason these words are reaching the places they are reaching. This person sees marriage not as one huge event, but as a shared life built through thousands of faithful moments, waking beside you on peaceful mornings, holding you when old pain comes back without warning, being the calm voice when your mind gets crowded, being the steady hand when life suddenly feels too loud. They picture the ordinary miracles, warm silence, shared routines, a look across the room that quietly says, "I am with you," a home that feels like safety instead of tension, a love that does not disappear when things become difficult. They want to become the reason your shoulders slowly soften, the reason your breathing gets calmer, the reason you stop feeling like you must always prepare for disappointment. Not because they are promising a perfect life, but because they are promising a consistent one, a caring one, a truthful one. They want to be the kind of partner whose actions answer your fears before your fears even have to speak. And yes, this kind of love is rare. It asks for empathy, patience, emotional maturity. It asks for a heart that values peace over power and presence over performance. But rare does not mean impossible. It means precious. It means worth noticing. It means worth protecting. And maybe, if you have made it this far, part of you already knows this message reached you for a reason. Maybe part of you is starting to believe that the love you once thought was too much to ask for is actually the kind that fits your heart best. So hear this clearly now. You are not too much to love. You are not too hard to understand. You are not invisible. The kind of love that truly wants to lighten your pain does not come with chaos, confusion, and loud promises that vanish later. It comes with patience, with steadiness, with a deep and quiet choice that keeps choosing you day after day. And when that love arrives, you will not have to perform for it. You will not have to make yourself smaller to keep it. You will not have to keep proving your worth just to feel safe in it. It will stay. It will meet your strongest parts with respect and your most tender parts with care. It will not rush your healing, but it will walk beside it. It will not erase your past, but it will stop your past from being the only thing shaping your future. And maybe that is what your heart has been waiting for this whole time. Not a flawless person, not a dramatic rescue, just someone real, someone steady, someone whose love feels like peace after years of noise. If this message reached you deeply, hold on to that feeling. Let it remind you that the love you need is not a fantasy. It can exist. It can be real. And somewhere, maybe even now, there is a heart choosing you quietly, carefully, and with a sincere desire to stay. Think for a moment about the part that felt most true to your life, the part that exposed the patterns that hurt you, the part that made you remember someone who brought confusion instead of peace. Hold that insight close. Let it sharpen your awareness. Let it guard your heart. Let it guide you toward healthier love, calmer love, and the kind of connection that does not drain your soul, but finally lets it rest.